What's going on, everyone? I'm back here with another video, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a review of iOS 9.3, which was just released yesterday. This update includes many new features, enhancements, as well as bug fixes. Let's go ahead and start with the most notable new features. And the first one is probably the biggest, which is something called Night Shift, and it is new toggle in control centers. You can see there's a new little button down here in the middle of all the other buttons as well. Basically what Night Shift is, or what it does rather, is it changes the color of the display depending on what time of day it is. So if it's nighttime or something like that in the evening, the display will be more of a warmer tone, and then it'll be more of a cold bluish tone during the day. And essentially what Apple is touting with this is that when the night shift mode is turned on, it should allow you to get a better night's sleep. So I haven't actually been able to try that out or test that, so I don't know if that's actually true, but that is what they are advertising or saying that this new feature will do. So if I turn it on, as you can see, the display kind of got taken on a bit of a warmer orange color. If I turn it off, as you see, it kind of goes back to the standard cold white color, or blue color, however you want to say it. Now, there are settings for that, so if we go into the settings application and go to display and brightness, you now notice that there is a new night shift option here. So if you click on that, you can turn on or off scheduled. So you can schedule it to be turn on and off between a specific time period. So if we click this, you can either have it set to be turned on and off automatically when sunset, that will be turned on, and then at sunrise it will turn off. Or you can do a custom time. So currently I have it set to be turned on at 10 p.m. and then turn off at 7 a.m. So that's pretty cool. And then you can also enable manually enable until tomorrow. That basically is, if you turn it on right now, it'll stay on for an entire day, and then it won't turn off until the next day. So that's kind of interesting. So, and then you can also change the color temperature. So if you want to make it a much colder tone, we could turn it this way and it becomes real blue. And then if we turn it this way, as you can see, it becomes really, really, really orange. And then I prefer it to be kind of in the middle, but you can change the color temperature depending on what you would like. So essentially that is Night Shift. It's a pretty interesting feature, and I'm really curious to start trying it out on a daily basis just to see how it actually works and helps with my sleep, I guess. So anyway, moving on. These next improvements have to do with the Notes application. Now, I can't actually show most of these because I'm using an iPhone 5S and I do not have the upgraded version of Notes to be able to show this, but let's go ahead and move on anyway. But the most notable feature in the Notes application now is the ability to protect personal and secret notes using Touch ID and a passcode, so you can keep unwanted eyes from viewing those notes. So that's a really, really neat feature to have. Next thing is there's new sorting options in the Notes app, so you can sort notes alphabetically by date created or by date edited. So that's great. Next is when sketching using the app, you can quickly bring up a fresh canvas with a 2-finger swipe or by tapping the new sketch button. So that's a really quick action, I guess you could say. Lastly, you have the ability to show thumbnails instead of large images and attachments in the Notes app by long pressing on the image and or attachment within the note that you're viewing. Okay, next up are improvements to the News application. So the News app now allows you to have a new top stories section in the For You tab that highlights your most important stories of the day. Next up, you can now play video stories right from the For You tab without needing to open the actual article itself. Then lastly, in the news application is you can read stories and watch videos in landscape orientation now on the iPhone. So the news app will rotate. So let's go ahead and see if I can give a demonstration of that. Actually, I don't have any stories on here. Oh, actually, sorry about that. I had it on airplane mode is why. Okay, so let's go ahead and let it load. It's got really bad connection, so it might not end up loading. Anyway, okay, here we go. So let's tap on one of these. Okay, so if we turn it, you can see the story now rotates to give a better view or reading aspect of the article. So that's pretty good. So next, moving on, are health improvements. So third-party apps for data such as weight, workouts, and sleep are now displayed in the health app. A dashboard, rather, adds support for move, exercise, and stand activity data, as well as goals from the Apple Watch. So that's cool. Moving on, lastly, within the health improvements, is there are now 3D touch quick actions on the home screen for the health application, so you can get quick access to the dashboard, as well as your medical ID. Okay, next up is Apple Music improvements. Okay, first thing in here is you can now add songs from the Apple Music catalog to a playlist without needing to actually have that song in your library. Next is you can now watch music videos on the iPad in full screen. That's great. And then lastly, you can now see what is playing on the Beats One radio station directly from the radio tab without actually needing to click the Beats One radio to see what is playing. So basically another quick action to see what's going on without needing to click it. Next up are improvements to photos. This one, you can now extract a still image from a live photo by tapping duplicate, which will give you the option to either duplicate the live photo or save the still image from that live photo. So this is useful if you don't want to have the live photo anymore. So if you want to take the still image from it and then delete the actual live photo data, that is a really useful thing. All right, moving on. We have improvements. Let's see here. Okay, so we have improvements to the Maps application. So Maps now adds the support for highlighted view of destinations and stops for specific transit line destination. Okay, and the next up is Maps will now display whether there are multiple transit line options for each route that you're traveling to. This one now involves the Wallet application. So the Wallet app adds the ability to view the app related to a card or pass in the Wallet app by tapping the icon on the card or pass itself. Okay, next up involves Apple Pay. So Apple Pay now adds support for signing up with store reward programs at the point of a sale at the payment terminal. So that's quite interesting. I haven't actually tried that, but that does sound interesting. Okay, the Activity app now adds the Workout tab with monthly summaries to give you a better outlook on your monthly workout. That's great. There is now a two-factor authentication for iCloud and Apple ID accounts. So you can now have an extra step of security when setting up your Apple ID. So that's one thing that's been asked upon of Apple quite often. So it's really great that they finally have implemented that. Next few, rather, are bug fixes. And the biggest one, I would say, they have now fixed an issue where if you change the date of your iPhone to May of 1970, for some weird reason, the date of that specific time would prevent your iOS device from turning on. So basically, if you set it, that date and then turn on your phone, or restart rather, it will basically get stuck in a restart loop. Next up, there's a fix for inaccurate battery percentage for the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus, so that's great. Next are just slight improvements to 3D Touch on the keyboard, the phone app, mail app, and mail drop. So basically that's it of the iOS 9.3 review. Those are the most notable new features and bug fixes that Apple has included in this new update. If you guys have any questions, drop a comment below and I can answer them if you guys would like. But yeah, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button as well. All that's greatly appreciated. And yeah, that's basically it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.